Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to slash that subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, the Demon Slayer Corps are the sole threat to demons, and their leader of the Slayer Corps is shrouded in mystery. Additionally, the appearance of demons is a mystery, and they are able to regenerate and transform at will. Continuing his training, Tanjiro learns that Sakonji is one of many trainers that raise pupils to enter the final selection, a test to determine if a slayer is worthy of becoming a demon slayer. Growing used to the terrain and traps, Tanjiro can't help but wonder if the traps are intended to kill him. Adding a sword, Tanjiro struggles to move with it, adding extra training with the blade, to get used to moving around with it. Next was tumbling and falling with the blade, as Sakonji wrestled with Tanjiro wielding the blade, easily outmatching him. Finally, Sakonji began teaching forms and breathing, specifically the 10 water forms and total concentration breathing, which should enhance the forms. Opting for a change in environment, Tanjiro endures the heavy waterfall, deeming to become like water. With several months passing, Nezuko is still in a coma-like state, leading Tanjiro to eventually learn everything Sakonji can teach. As a final task, Sakonji will allow Tanjiro to enter the final selection, if he's able to cut a boulder in half. Leaving Tanjiro alone, Tanjiro begins to work on his abilities, continuing endurance and breath training, but time and time again, makes no progress. Refusing to give up, Tanjiro is interrupted by a fox-masked boy, stating that Tanjiro is still too weak. Even with a wooden sword, the fox mask is able to lecture Tanjiro, easily parrying and striking with his wooden sword. Demanding Tanjiro take the training seriously, the fox mask knocks Tanjiro out, asking for help from a little, revealed to be Makomo. Tanjiro realizes the fox mask, Sabito, showed flawless swordplay, having moved efficiently without a single waste of energy. Revealing that her, Sabito and several other of Sakonji's students are watching Tanjiro, Makomo points out the importance of total concentration breathing. Expanding one's lung capacity, a slayer is able to match a demon's strength and speed, but this can only be developed through vigorous training. 6 months pass, and Sabito prepares to gauge Tanjiro's development. With both dashing at one another, Tanjiro is finally able to reach Sabito first, cutting open his mask. Revealing his satisfied smile, both Sabito and Makomo disappear, only to reveal that Tanjiro had cut the boulder in half. Having honed his sense of smell, Tanjiro had developed the ability to draw a thread from the tip of his blade, to a location on an opponent, where they were most vulnerable. This is what allowed him to defeat Sabito. Appearing from nowhere, Sakonji reveals that he never intended to send Tanjiro to the final selection, not wanting another of his students to pass away. But seeing Tanjiro's resolve, Sakonji has no choice, but to wish him the best. Setting up a feast for the boy that night. As Tanjiro cleans up his hair, Sakonji talks about how demons grow stronger, the more humans it has consumed, sometimes even developing strange magical abilities. Gifting Tanjiro a mask, as a good luck charm, Sakonji bids the boy farewell the next morning. Having promised Nezuko to return, Tanjiro heads out, thanking Sabito and Makomo for their help, which Sakonji shockingly questions how Tanjiro knew the names of his deceased students. Heading into a forest, Tanjiro is amazed by the violet-lit forest, taking note of the other participants. Suddenly 2 mysterious twins announce the rules, tasking everyone with surviving for 7 days, in order to pass the exam. Planning out a game plan, Tanjiro begins heading east, towards where the sun will rise. He stops, smelling demons in the nearby vicinity. Realizing that it's above him, Tanjiro barely dodges, interrupted by another demon, who fights over Tanjiro. As both charge towards Tanjiro, he begins to breathe, concentrating and imagining the threads to the demon's head. Performing the 4th form, Tanjiro beautifully decapitates the 2, remembering that Sakonji had told him a demon's weakest point is its neck. Additionally, with the special steel Nichiren blade, Tanjiro is able to guarantee the demon's death upon decapitating it. Praying for the demon's lives, Tanjiro picks up a putrid smell, accompanied by a terrified participant. Cutting to Sabito and Makomo, the 2 allude to a powerful demon, which Tanjiro is staring at, as of this moment. Witnessing the demon devouring a slayer, it reaches out towards another participant, proceeding to lift him up. Knowing he must do something, Tanjiro performs the 2nd form, spinning and cutting the participant free. Seeing Tanjiro, the demon recognizes his mask, asking Tanjiro about the current time period. The demon becomes enraged, realizing that it has spent several years trapped, having been captured by Sakonji 47 years ago. Refusing to believe such a demon has lived so long, the demon reveals that it has devoured at least 50 humans, with 13 of them being Sakonji's disciple. It's revealed that the demon was the one who killed Sabito and Makomo, having made its goal to kill all of Sakonji's disciples, as revenge for imprisoning it. As the demon begins to make fun of Sakonji and his pathetic disciples, Tanjiro grows angrier, sporadically cutting and running at the demon, only to be knocked out by the demon. Continuing to mock Sakonji, the demon reaches for Tanjiro, who is suddenly woken up by his deceased siblings. Excited that Tanjiro is still able to move, the demon continues to barrage Tanjiro, who is forced to defend and put space between him and the. Finding out that the powerful Sabito was unable to cut the demon, Tanjiro smells a demon from below, jumping into the air, to get out of its reach. Following up, the demon attacks the mid-air Tanjiro. We cut to Makomo, who worries if Tanjiro will fall victim as well, but Sabito reassures her, as we see Tanjiro evade the demon's mid-air strike. Running along its outstretched arm, Tanjiro begins to concentrate, slashing his way toward the neck, seeing a thread. With the demon allowing Tanjiro closer to trap him, it's surprised when Tanjiro cleaves off its neck. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like and comment.